crypto market is trending higher. The market showed you that we are at a level where we are going to bounce. The market bounced. Right now, it is showing you that we are at a resistance level. So if we break higher from here, that's going to be a volatile move to the upside. To understand that, think like this. On a shorter time frame, which is 3-day, considering weekly, you have a resistance where you are going to break higher. But here on a weekly, you are eyeing at the next level to the top, which is near the last high which we put in recently. So given that, look at the entire market. Bitcoin has already reached the resistance level 1 which we anticipated. Now we do have some more resistance range as we go higher. However, this gives you an idea that okay, XRP has room to the upside if it breaks here. And then the Bitcoin is at a resistance, so we need to combine them, right? So we look at the altcoin market cap. Okay, altcoin market cap on a 3-day is just below its moving average, which means the moving average is acting as a resistance. Now take that into altcoin to Bitcoin chart. Here for us, it's XRP to BTC. We came back, we are still holding on to that long-term support which we are talking from some time, and you got a bullish shaped candle which is also an engulfing candle and showing you a trend of a bull flag. So that bull flag on a daily appears like this on a 3-day chart, but it gives you that idea. If it's going to break higher here, it's going to go retest this previous high. We have remained below that for a long time, and you got this spring. If you're familiar with Wyckoff pattern, you'll get that. So now if you go above and break this, that's a new cycle to the upside where you're going to see the alts pumping so high. When Bitcoin moves slowly to the upside, it will still move up, but alt are going to do way better. Now you need to actually understand that the macro perspective is changing. Now we are ending to the end of a bull market where we have another year or so in this cycle. Now what will the majority need? Those who came in this cycle early are going to get a ton of benefits, right? They're going to make a huge level of profits. Say we as a team do publish posts on a regular basis, so you guys know what to look out for. Say one of which we are following from a long time here is Quant. Now if you are familiar with that, that's a fundamentally strong project which we've been following from a long time. So if you want to look at the current price action for Quant, you definitely can look at this. We showed you that it's an opportunity here if you want to buy in here, because that was showing you around the bottom and then a test to the bottom which shows a cup and handle pattern at a time when the RSI was at the support, MACD was crossing to the upside, and all the indicators suggesting moving to the upside. Now we've been following that since then, and we reached a level where we went up in price and we anticipated, okay, we are going to go 10x from here. Say 5 to 10x is easily possible, but the problem with that is that was in Jan, and right now the price came towards that level 180. Now that's not a small deal. Those who look for the long term, those who had this long term thought process, they entered back then and they are taking their profits as we go higher. We had our targets fixed at 1.148 target 2 and we hit 180. Yes, I agree, but if you were there from that time grinding in this market, taking profits a little by little, here you are looking at a bull flag, MACD crossing to the upside. We gave you all the ideas, right? So similarly we do charts for others. Now those who are in Patreon, those who are new, who just came in August, they can go back and look at what we've been doing. So now they will get an idea about the new charts. When they see this one, okay, fine, that means I should be entering here, I should be taking my profits here, I should stay out at some time. That's safe. Not taking profit from an asset which pumped crazy and pushing that money directly into another, because when that one corrects, mostly the entire market will either slow down or correct to the downside. So now what does this mean for XRP? Those who've been watching this channel for some time know what we stand for. here on a daily, you easily can say this is a double bottom. We got that. Now that's not the clear picture here, but you got the point here, right? So when you zoom out, you get an easy trend here, understanding everything is going up. Now the hype from the media will come, the hype from the market will come. You should not be shaken at that time. Rather, you should be focusing much more on where to take profits, because when these regulations are coming, a lot of crypto exchanges where you are not KYC'd, where they don't follow the AML, the anti-money laundering law, they are being shot down by the regulators. Make sure you are in an area where you are safe, where you are secure. If you can, move into ledger and only keep a certain percentage of your portfolio in different exchanges based on the volume in that exchange to take profits. Your long-term stuff, it should definitely be in a ledger or any wallet which you are kind of comfortable with. Now let's jump back into the price action and discuss this. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. We look at the market and say, okay, that's fine. Even though we are correcting a little bit, it doesn't look so much. If you look at the last 7 days, we went up, we are staying there. That's a good deal. To get a proper view on that, you definitely will have to zoom in and look. So while you do that, you clearly get an image like this, right? There's a 4-hour chart of XRP where you kind of look at, okay, the chart definitely looks something like this. Now to just clear off that, we can just take it out and then look at this. So you're trending higher on a shorter time frame where you have a trend line going like this. You're trending higher on a longer time span, again where you have the trend line, where you're being supported by the trend line. Now on the RSI, we talked about this particular level of resistance which turned into support. So here it was acting as a resistance previously. If you extend it here, you will see it was a resistance range, but as I told, understanding that range is really important. If you take that as a range, this is where you end up with. So this is a bounce range which we are anticipating for the price here as of now. Given that, we should not break below the moving average on a 4-hour, because short-term fluctuations, it's really hard to maneuver around in the market. But long term, if you see an opportunity, if you are ready for next 6 months, next 8 months, you're happy with 10, 20, 30x, this is literally coming to you. Not only in one asset, in a lot of different assets, right? If you have 10 assets in your portfolio, you definitely need to know what that asset is doing now, what you can anticipate in next 3 months, next 6 months. That's what you should look at. And then the end of this market cycle, if it's going to give you 50x, 100x, whatever you want, and the volume, the fundamentals, everything is strong, yeah, that's the right asset to be in. That's why we as a team focus more on XRP and other assets whichever you have in your portfolio. But yeah, I give concentration to XRP because of a lot of factors. Now in this one, we definitely talked about this resistance being a support here. Now we went above that. Yep, first we wicked and came back and closed. So at that time I told you, once we break this, we're going to be making that as a support, because we had a double bottom pattern. And in that double bottom pattern, what you have to recognize here is the ankle. If you want to draw that properly, take the numbers, you can do that. Just take trend angle and you see that that's 6 degrees to the upside, whereas here in the price you get to see 19 degrees to the upside. So that's an exponential increase in relative strength from buyers that hasn't reflected in the price yet. That means another opportunity is here, but until the price pumps, a lot of guys won't be able to see this. If you are one among them who want to get into the market before that pump happens, you can definitely take benefit of this one. Now let's actually go back to the XRP BTC chart which we showed previously. Now you need to understand, take a weekly or a monthly chart and definitely look at how it looks like. If you move on to a monthly chart of XRP, I'll take you guys there and explain how it looks like. But here it's really necessary to understand we're just below the moving average. Great, but you look like you're going to bounce higher. Why? Look at the RSI. It gives you a rounded bottom pattern which is just breaking to the upside, and if that's the case, that definitely means XRP compared to BTC is going to run hard in recent, say, next 2 weeks, 2 months. We are going to go higher in ratio, and if you are one of them betting in that side, you're going to definitely make profit. But once you make profit, taking the profit is literally important. We had wave 1 in the market in terms of US dollar. A lot of people didn't take their profit, they were still waiting. Say XRP went 16, 17x to the upside, and if you didn't take any of your profit, that's on you. But now you have wave 2. That's another opportunity for you if you missed last time. And do take that benefit this time, because the market may not be actually coming up with a chance again and again. Yeah, you'll get wave 3, but after a long term consolidation. So if you look at the live chart, say you go back to XRP on a monthly and long term approach, you kind of see like, okay, we are trending to the upside. It's all great, it's all cool, but what we cannot understand is how long you'll have to wait. Now we can just follow history, right? Last time, after a major run to the upside, you consolidated there for like 220 days, say 200 days. That itself is a long time for a lot of people who doesn't have time, because instead of trying to time the market, giving time in the market is beneficial. At least for us, it's being proven like that. We enter into a lot of different assets. Now this is when I started the Patreon, right? But before that, I was in that asset. We were buying it at, like, before the breakout, around $6, around $5, that range. Now the number of exchanges were limited at that time, and now it's gaining traction. But as a fundamental project, you get to see a ton of movement. Now come back to XRP and its fundamentals. It's way more than quant, and it's just starting. So if you missed that opportunity, you can look at the next one, because there, yeah, you went higher. Great, you went from $3, $4, $5 all the way up to $180. Now look at the next stuff. If it ran too high this time, will it actually go high? Will it go too high next time? That's something you definitely need to think about, because if you ask me, I'll actually say like that's a possibility. But okay, let me explain in the chart actually. So here, what I can do is just take this here up and round this. And now, yeah, what we've been talking like is, say for example, you have a lot of assets in your portfolio. The general market is trending higher. Now what you need to focus on is the wave, because the market always trends like this. Say if you have assets which did way above the average fluctuation in the market, say consider it was around 27 to 30x, which we did last time. Say XLM did like 30x, so which was the average fluctuation. XRP did 16x. So you have others like Dent, Wink, BTT, One, Anchor, a lot of them which did like 60x towards 200x. You come up with Dent, you come up with Zap. There's a lot of them, but you have others which doesn't do much. Now those coins which didn't do much, you also have to look at their liquidity and the fundamentals. If the fundamentals of these coins, say XRP, Zcash, Dash, a lot of others are great, then they are going to definitely perform above the average next time, when these are going to perform below the average. So now you have to do one job in your portfolio. Look at which assets performed above average, name it, which perform below average, name it. Look at your ratio. Are you on the right side? Because if you are in some coins which went 50 to 100x last time, and that too like 50% or more of your portfolio there, now that's time to rebalance, because mostly it's going to do like this. Those which performed below the average and having a ton of fundamentals, they're going to go higher. Then these would be, they're still going to run high. They would be still somewhere close to the average, but not above the average. So this is something which you need to consider when you restructure or rebalance your portfolio one by one. That's why we do that on a regular basis. So yes, based on the charts and the assets, you need to understand which asset you stand for. You need to understand which asset is going to give you that ability to take out a big chunk of profit from this market. Now on a monthly, we drew this, right? On a monthly, we were talking like, this is great, this is a huge opportunity if you understand what the market is doing. Now from that weekly, if you actually jump back onto a monthly chart to understand what the fluctuation looks like, you can just take the trend line and draw it like this. It connects your top like this. It shows a higher high on a monthly. Then you come back to the bottom to see what it's doing, how it's trending. Now you get to see like, okay, fine, the trend is something like this. The price is moving to the upside and it's still at the support level. It's still at the bottom. Now you need to look at the wave indicator. So we can add on MACD, and when you add on MACD, this is what you get. You're still at the upside. Last time you went up, you consolidated, bounced. Again, you went up, you're consolidating, you're going to bounce, because last time we did have the same pattern. We came back to the support. We started with a little bit of bounce and then boom. Similarly, if we are going to get that, imagine what that price level would be. Another 10, 15x from here, like last time. If that's just following the pattern, if that's the Elliott wave entering into wave 2, you're going to get 2 to 3 times what had happened in last wave. That's going to take you all the way up to $15, $20, $28 to the maximum, because XRP always gets extended to the top or the bottom. You need to take benefit of that, and if you really need to take benefit of that, you need to understand what a profit taking strategy looks like. That's why we actually go through that for a lot of different assets. So if you are in DEN, you should understand this. If you are in this, you should look at this. You get all of that in the Patreon. And if you are one of a human being, as an investor, as a trader, who want to get better at it on a regular basis, educate yourself on a regular basis, you can definitely look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So now guys, definitely look at the chart and follow the price action. When we bounce through this roof, which we put in at 0.77, 0.78, you're next eyeing at 1.05. So next level, yeah, it's 1.05, it's about $1. But when we go retest the top, don't miss to take a little bit of profit in case if it drops and you don't want to have that regret. If you're a long-term guy, it's fine. Wait for the all-time highs and our instructions to take profits. If you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. That supports the channel a lot. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.